Yeah, g'day guys. This is my new Beta 300R 2022 model. A little bit of an initial impression 1 hour review. We've got 1.1 hours on this thing, so I'm just sort of running it in. I've just put these Arctic guards on, frame guards on, super bright and red, and also a Polysport cover there, which I can show you. I'll show you around the bike now. Okay. So you got the KYB fork with the racing model. I come off a Yamaha, and obviously they have great suspension. KYB. So yeah, 300 engine cc, key and carb. It's obviously counterbalance back in 2020. It's quite a bit smoother than the traditional two-stroke. Yeah, just some blingy parts. We've got similar sort of brakes, Nissan brakes. You can actually see braided lines, XL rims, Galliffer rotors, billet hubs. It's got all the gear on it. Got some Metzeler tyres. Front's alright, the rear's pretty average to be fair, but can't complain. Polysport cover, which I like that logo, so should protect that enough, and that's obviously the guard I've just put on just before. I've taken the green cap off this, as everyone complains about. Every time I open this, the tank would be pressurized. So this, that's a common issue, by the way. Pressurizes the tank. The one-way valve that comes in it always sticks. Map switch. Accidentally started it the other day, just by sitting on the bike. So she starts good. Kill switch. Got all the lights and functions. Way too many functions for an off-road dirt bike, but you can dumb them down with a bit of basic wiring looms. So you will be installing the radiator braces. The steering lock on these bikes, as you probably read the reviews, are pretty average. I even noticed it in the weekend trying to turn full lock in a tight situation. It's below par. Yeah, got your air filter in there. Nice freshy in there. It's not a bad system. We'll see how it goes. So you mix your fuel. So every time the engine's running, I know the engine's got oil in it, which is really good. I'm hearing a lot of complaints about the other bikes with, even the base model version of this bike. If it has an electrical fault and the oil pump craps itself, it keeps running, keep riding, and you cook it. You blow a bearing or you cook the top end. So that to me, when I'm investing 16, 17 grand in a bike, I know I'm not going to blow it up, as long as I don't forget to mix gas. So yeah, it's got a new piston design and head design for this year. Slightly different valving in the fork for 22. As you know, you probably read a lot of reviews or watch. There's not that many reviews, that's why I'm doing this. I don't want to tell you old news, but the power off the bottom is pretty gentle. The map switch does work. I was in muddy conditions the other day, and yeah, the brain was good. The rain map was better. It lugs really well, like lug as in it doesn't want to stall, and it's got that bottom end tractability sort of thing. Carburetor works good. I've just wound it back on the fuel screw or adjusted that here and there according to the conditions. Take it off the stand. The suspension's obviously good. Just adjusted my sag, and yep. What else is there to say? Apart from pulling this bike to bits. So initially I got the bike and I pulled it to bits, and I went over it with a bit of CRC electrical spray. And if you get that on your hands, I think I've just got some on my hands just now. It's just super oily and super resistant to. It's super oily and filmy. So just went over all the plugs with that. I didn't do the dielectric grease thing. Putting a couple of cable ties on the rubber doofer. Hopefully that will stop that rubber thing between the exhaust and the silencer from leaking. Yeah. The front brake is comparative to the Yamaha is better. It's less spongy. Obviously it's new, but my last bike was pretty much new. So yeah. We need to take that off anyway, so I don't need to, but for Yamaha YZ250X, I end up getting quite involved with that in regards to modding the head. What else? Through TSP, Two-Stroke Performance in Australia, and that was a great product. Putting a flywheel weight on it and jetting it correctly, doing a jetting mod, 40 power jet mod, and the thing runs very similar to this straight out of the crate, as in doesn't want to stall, that low end power, tractable, but this just has a bit more, so that's really good. The fact that the Yamaha is comparable. Obviously the vibrations were a lot more in the Yamaha. The height of the bike as well. This is a lower bike, but then the pedals are higher than the Yamaha. I noticed that because I use this bike carrier, and these only just reach. I had to adjust. Yeah, I didn't have to adjust them, but the adjustment's slightly higher for this bike, meaning that the pegs are higher. So that's slightly more noticeable. So I want to get some rad guards on this. That's always an interesting choice, because I don't like when the things come out, the shrouds come out and make it look all ugly. I don't really like the look of that, or the feel, or it just. I've taken it in the mud a few times and I felt at home on the bike, which is good. I have swung a leg over the new EXCs and the TPIs, etc., and it felt different. This feels more natural, more Japanese-like, and you do hear that. I was going to buy a gas, but I feel like I can work on this bike, whereas that bike maybe not so much.